time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. Idalia is moving up the southeast coast at a quick clip and is forecast to move offshore today. An assortment of hazards are expected to continue with Idalia, including storm surge, coastal flooding, tropical storm force winds, and areas of flash urban and moderate river flooding with considerable impacts. At last check, 2 confirmed deaths are the result of the hurricane. Closer to home, isolated thunderstorms across area mountains and west of the Continental Divide over the weekend. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 90s across the lowlands. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. Nearly 13 months ago, both the City of Alamogordo and Otero County each passed non-binding resolutions which have no effect of law, declaring both the city and the county as sanctuaries for the unborn.
I have a personal faith, and to me it's not funny. I take it very seriously. It's important to me, and I am in a spiritual quandary. Having said that, I understand that I was elected to represent everybody. That's where my struggle comes in. I do not believe this is a function of city government. I feel very strongly about that, and this is why it's so hard for me, because every bit of me wants to say, yes, we need to do this.
During that August 2nd meeting, Representative John Block, along with the support of City Commissioner Carl Melton, both made claims that there are no medical reasons why a woman would ever need an abortion. As a nurse, I know that to be untrue. Is it common to medically need an abortion? No, but instances do exist in which the decision must be made between losing the baby or losing the mother and baby. A heart-wrenching decision, to be sure. A year since that divisive debate in Alamogordo, the New Mexico Supreme Court announced it will hear oral arguments in December regarding a request to strike down a recent abortion ban ordinance in several cities and counties. Now, neither Alamogordo nor Otero County are involved in this case, as resolutions were passed locally, not ordinances. An ordinance would be contrary to state law. As previously mentioned here on Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio, the High Court on Tuesday announced they will hear arguments in December and agreed to consider legal briefings filed by advocacy groups. This past January, Attorney General Raul Torres petitioned the High Court to strike down abortion ban ordinances approved by local governments. The New Mexico Museum of Space History is proud to host the annual 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb in collaboration with the Alamogordo Fire Department and other local first responders. Teams of up to 4 individuals will climb the symbolic 110 stories, the height of the original World Trade Center, in order to honor the brave heroes who sacrificed their lives on September 11, 2001. Everyone is welcome to join, and we plan on hearing more about this event in the coming days from a representative from the Alamogordo Fire Department. Now, if you want to register now, visit spacetrail.org/sites/stairclimb. The event is happening on September 9th at 7:30 a.m. at the New Mexico Museum of Space History. Otero Arts will host their latest exhibition, The Two Anns, on Friday from 5 until 7 at Otero Art Space in the historic Women's Club building. That's 1118 Indiana Avenue. The public is invited for free to view works of art by both Ann Bagby and Ann Bach, 2 dedicated educators turned painters and Otero County residents. Otero Arts will exhibit The Two Anns at the Women's Building Gallery through the month of September, Thursday through Sunday, from 1 until 4 p.m. Well, today is Thursday. Let's check in with our good friend Warren Robinson for this week's inspirational moment.
Watch your attitude, something that you have power over. Remember that you can miss a lot of good things in life by having the wrong attitude. Become the most positive and enthusiastic person you know. Learn to forgive quickly. Spend your life lifting people up and not putting them down. Make the most and the best and the least of the worst. Be cheerful, even when you don't feel like it. Be as happy as you can with what you have while working for what you want. Look for the opportunity that's hidden in every adversity. Don't expect life to be fair. It's not. Never underestimate the power of laughter. Count your blessings. And remember, if you look for the worst in life and in people, you'll find it. But if you look for the best, you'll also find that instead. From H. Jackson Brown and Rochelle Pennington, highlighted life. This is Warren Robinson with the Inspirational Moment.
The good Reverend also has a political announcement to share with us.
Well, I am running for City Commissioner in District 3, and I signed up for the campaign on Tuesday, so I'm ready to go.
We wish the Reverend the very best in his future endeavor and hope to have him back on the air sooner than later. On yesterday's newscast, I commented that the county meeting was not open to the public. Turns out that this was incorrect, and I do apologize. I think I crisscrossed the Monday meeting into Tuesday. Anyway, I also commented that it appeared that Vicky Marquardt was lecturing Amy Barella at the end of the meeting. I have been told that it was merely a discussion. News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
AlamogordoTownNews.com is a locally owned website featuring local news matters from a local perspective that affects you, and we bring it to you directly. Plus, local sports, cultural arts, and events. Online, AlamogordoTownNews.com. Owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
2 current Albuquerque firefighters and 1 recently retired firefighter are all 3 facing rape charges. The alleged victim told police that her time with them began at a golf event and everyone was drinking alcohol throughout the day, and then the incident occurred later that day in July. The alleged victim initially stated that she had consensual relations with one of the firefighters before the other 2 jumped in and raped her. She later said that at least 2 of them raped her and nothing inside that bedroom was consensual. The 3 firefighters facing a second-degree rape charge are 46-year-old Aiden Hyman, 32-year-old Angel Portillo, and recently retired 44-year-old Anthony Martin. Albuquerque Fire and Rescue Chief Emily Jaramillo released a statement which reads, quote, "We were made aware of APD's criminal investigation in July and took immediate steps to launch an internal investigation to determine if the employees violated AFR policies. The 3 employees were immediately placed on administrative leave. The allegations were alarming and we determined a thorough investigation was necessary to determine the facts." Close quote. She went on to say that they are fully cooperating with the APD investigators, and she treats these allegations seriously. Now that criminal charges have been filed, the fire department will respect the judicial process and refrain from commenting on details of the case. It's not clear whether police have arrested the men yet, but there has been a warrant issued. Attorneys for the men states that one of the men said everything was consensual and, quote, "These false allegations are trying to ruin the lives of these distinguished firefighters, and it's tragic for these gentlemen." Close quote. Yesterday, the trial of Lalu Castrillo, charged with intentional abuse resulting in the death of 2-year-old Fabiola Rodriguez, continued at Donna Ana County District Court. The jury heard back from Amador Martinez, who was a detective on the case back in 2018. He testified that in the immediate aftermath of baby Favi's death, he saw bruises on her body that led him to believe her death was suspicious. Martinez said Castrillo told investigators he found baby Favi on the floor of her bedroom and saw what appeared to be vomit coming from her mouth and nose. The court then saw cell phone records obtained by Las Cruces police, which showed Castrillo did not call 911 for over an hour, despite being concerned that there was something wrong. The court also heard from Dr. Lindsay Smith, the forensic pathologist who performed the autopsy on baby Favi. She testified that after seeing multiple injuries on baby Favi's head, including evidence of a brain bleed, she could only conclude that the manner of death was homicide and the cause, blunt force trauma to the head. The trial resumes today at 9 a.m. Closing arguments in the Sergio Almanza trial ended yesterday. After hours of jury deliberation, a verdict had not been reached.
The defendant's group orders 3 buckets of beer. In total on those 2 receipts, it's 34 drinks. Pernod was thrown 72.74 feet in the air from the impact of this Can-Am.
Did anybody see him consume alcohol? Did anybody see him purchase alcohol? Why did he want you to think it's a bar? Why, when it's not? Because they don't have a case. They don't have a case on the DWI, so they're hoping that these one-liners will get to you.
Almanza is accused of hitting and killing a 7-year-old boy who was visiting the River of Lights with his family. Jury deliberations will continue today. New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres and top prosecutors from 13 other states are throwing their support behind efforts to compensate people sickened by exposure to radiation during nuclear weapons testing. Officials sent a letter yesterday to congressional leaders saying that it's time for the federal government to give back to those who sacrifice so much. The letter refers to the estimated 500,000 people who lived within a 150-mile radius of the Trinity test site in New Mexico. That's where the world's first atomic bomb was detonated back in 1945. It also points to thousands of people in Idaho, Colorado, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Montana, and Guam who are currently not eligible under the existing compensation program. The U.S. Senate voted recently to expand the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act as part of a massive defense spending bill. Supporters are hopeful that the U.S. House will include the provisions in its version of the bill, and President Joe Biden has indicated his support. Opponents of a plan to allow hunters to kill more black bears in New Mexico over the next 4 years say escalating climate change threats faced by wildlife are not being considered. More now from Roz Brown.
The state's Department of Game and Fish took public comments on the proposal last week. Even though the increased number of bear kills is small, Mary Catherine Ray with the Sierra Club Rio Grande chapter says none of the density studies have been peer-approved or published. She notes that fires have ravaged wildlife in recent years.
How does this alter populations? The current proposals don't even consider it. Instead, they expand hunting for bears into the heat of summer in 2 southern bear zones and increase the bear kill quota in the Gila where so much has burned down in recent years. These animals need a break.
The New Mexico Cattle Growers Association maintains hunting is needed to control the number of predators and reduce conflicts with people. The commission is scheduled to make a decision at its October meeting. Seasonal hunting limits for bears would be bumped up in several areas of the state, raising the total kills allowed to 864 from the current 804. John Crenshaw, a former Department of Game and Fish employee and member of the state's Wildlife Federation, told the commissioners he supports the plan.
We urge you to hold your ground. The department's professionals presented you with a conservative, biologically sound rule to govern bear and cougar hunting over the next 4 years. We strongly urge you to pass this rule as presented.
Thomas Solomon shared a story about a recent bear break-in at his house east of Albuquerque.
I harbor no ill will towards this bear or other apex predators. I live in their ecosystem. I don't think that we should increase the bear cougar killing quotas given all the other things that we are doing to harm their environment.
The proposal would keep cougar hunting limits the same in all but one management zone, where it would drop by 17 kills, reducing the yearly limit to 563. I'm Roz Brown reporting.
Sports and weather are coming up next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
In volleyball today, Dexter at Lake Arthur, Deming at Socorro, Capitan at Melrose, Mescalero Apache at Gateway Christian, Hatch at Chaparral, Tularosa at Magdalena. Wow! Go Wildcats. Alamogordo heads to Artesia. Go Tigers. In football today, Carrizozo heads to Hondo, Socorro at Estancia, Hatch Valley comes to Tularosa. Wow! Go Wildcats. Football tomorrow, Hot Springs at Anthony, Cobry at Silver, Mesilla Valley Christian at Fort Sumner House, Deming heads to Goddard, Chaparral at Redoso, and Gadsden comes to Alamogordo. Go Tigers! Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, mostly clear tonight, sunny tomorrow. Your high today in the basin, 93, low tonight of 68, high tomorrow, 93 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies today, mostly clear tonight, sunny tomorrow. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 71, low tonight of 50, high tomorrow, 73 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.com, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. We've also launched the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel, which will feature our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. That concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.